In 1996, I met a man by the name of Robert Joes, and he warned me that if you're going to fight for freedom in the United States, you better be prepared to suffer. And he was right. I could tell he was telling me the truth when he told me this, but at that time I had already committed myself mentally to doing what I knew in my heart was right. I'd already discovered just how corrupt the system was by 1996, and I'd already set my heart on trying to make a difference. There were a lot of different reasons why I made this decision. I have no kids. I'd like to see a country that's safe, a safe place, and a good place to raise kids in. This country is not like that today. So at that time, Robert Joes has also been a victim of gang stalking and slander and so forth. He's supposedly a white supremacist, even though he's had black people out on his property. I do believe, even though I don't agree with everything that Robert Joes says, he is accurate in a lot of areas. And his legal arguments are extremely powerful. He raises the issue of subject matter jurisdiction, and which, if any judge continues to hear a case when the issue of subject matter jurisdiction has been raised, that judge waives his judicial immunity and opens himself up to suit. I've seen him held in jail for 4 years because no judge would take his case for fear of being sued. They had their own response to why they did that, but those are lies. I got an education in the law, a crash course in the law, if you want to say. I'm not an attorney. I don't have a license to practice law. Practice law means that I can charge you to tell you about the law. I can tell somebody about the law, but I could not charge you for it. That would be practicing the law. I don't have I'm not licensed by the American Bar Association, but I do have a working knowledge of the law, or at least I did at that time. In 1996, and we got some people off some pretty serious charges. Robert Anderson was in jail for in that state they go by letters, Class B felonies. They go A is like murder, and then B, he's on a couple of Class B felonies, possession with intent to sell, I believe it was marijuana, and 9 traffic violations and a couple of misdemeanors. And we got him off, more or less, and through the use of arguing these different legal issues, namely jurisdiction. I didn't make any friends in the legal department during these years. I would deliberately get arrested. I was a protester during these years. I would literally get arrested. I would refuse to show a cop my identification, and so he would arrest me on obstruction of government process, so I could argue these unconstitutional laws that are now such the reason why we have these problems in the United States today is because, quite frankly, there's too many laws on the books, and our government is completely controlled by attorneys. Not to disparage all attorneys, there's lots of attorneys, but we have attorneys in all 3 branches of our government. Attorneys are useful in the judicial branch of government. Unfortunately, they run the legislative, and many of our presidents have been attorneys as well. So we have attorneys. We have an attorney in the executive branch of government with our prosecuting attorneys, and all these attorneys make money with the more laws, the better. And that's why we have laws now like the Patriot Act and various other laws that are inexcusable as far as the Constitution is concerned. Just inexcusable things have been going on in this country, and I am a witness and a party to all this. I could go on and on about that, but I want to get into my targeting. I left, that was in Missouri when I was with Robert Joes. I left Missouri and moved out to Las Vegas after just being followed around for just being surveyed at that time. I just decided just to move on. But I did continue to educate people. Anybody that would listen to me, I would tell them what I just told you, and I would go into as much detail as they wanted to hear. I've developed a website, www.members.cox.net/Steve Allman, where I'm continuing to publish more and more of this information for those of you that feel brave, that want to stand up for your constitutional rights in court of law. And that doesn't make me make me very good friends with the criminals that run this government. And so I basically, when I went out to Vegas, I was still active, but I was more of a teacher. All those trips to jail as a protester in and out of jails and dealing with the corrupt police and their games and the court clerks' games. They play a lot of games. Anybody that's dealt with the legal system knows the games they play. They don't file stuff. They run off blank copies. It's a total. It's really sad. If you've ever been in that situation, it's really sad, and I know a lot of you people have. So I got tired of it after a few years. So I left and I came out to Vegas, and I was picked back up again in 2002. And I guess I must have been very special because they spared no expense on me. I think I was a very easy target at that time because at that time I was on drugs, and they were able to use that as an excuse to justify their actions to people around me and to well, not to me, but to instigate people against me. They went through my past and my friends and my family and found any little incident that they possibly could to turn people against me, as well as they started a slander campaign. They're very creative. They used some incidents from my past to discredit me. The first thing I noticed back in 2002, now this may have actually started before 2002, but